Video Games Reloaded.
During the time of the pharaohs, the city of Karnak was a shining example of civilization that all other nations could only hope to emulate. Today, Karnak lives on, surrounded by the spirits of the past. However, something has gone terribly wrong. Unknown forces have seized the city, and great turmoil is spreading into neighboring lands. World leaders from all parts of the globe have sent forces into the Karnak Valley, but none have returned. The great power of this new empire is quickly crushing the best forces the human world has to offer. The only known information about this crisis came from a Karnak villager found wandering through the desert miles from his home, dazed, dehydrated, and close to death. In his final moments among the living, the villager told horrifying stories of fierce alien creatures that invaded the city, devoured the women and children, and made slaves of the men. Many of the unfortunate victims were skinned alive or brutally dismembered. Others were subjected to unbearable tortures, injected with strange substances, and then mummified while still alive. According to the villager, even the mummified body of the great King Ramses was unearthed and taken away. You have been chosen from a group of the best operatives in the world to infiltrate Karnak and destroy the threatening forces. But as your helicopter nears the Karnak Valley, it is shot down. You barely escape with your life. With no possible contact to the outside world, you begin your adventure, ready to accomplish your mission, praying to return alive.
Suspended within the fabric of time and space lies the realm of the Chaos Sphere. For eons, the Serpent Riders, masters of the sphere, have traveled the dimensions, sowing destruction. Disparal is dead. Korax, the second rider, threatens another world. The world of Hexen. Hexen, A world where magic's legacy has spawned corruption. Three powers rule as one unholy trinity, each led by a single man, the warlord Zedek, High Captain of the Legion, is both judge and jury to all the peoples of Hexen. Traductors of the Church holds their souls in captivity. And Menelkir, the subtle master of the Arcanum, weaves his unholy magic to spread fear and weakness amongst all of their subjects. Restless in an uneasy alliance, these twisted leaders rule a twisted land, crushing absolutely all who would dare to oppose them. Today they will trade their worldly power with Korax for the dark gift of unlife and a mastery of forces more terrible than even their depraved minds could ever imagine. From the ranks of corruption, three heroes emerge, fighting for a single cause: the destruction of the masters they once served. Their names will become a thing of legend. Baratus, Daedalon, and Parias must heal the world of Hexen for all time. The world must undergo a testing. A journey must begin.
we've lost contact with the colony on LV-426. Take Gorman and his team to investigate. We don't want anyone to learn that the company has deliberately infected colonists in order to smuggle alien specimens past ICC quarantine.
Yes, sir.
It's imperative that you get Ripley to trust you. She's familiar with the xenomorph, and we may need her help to bring one out alive.
Understood.
All right, understand this. The Bioweapons Division had orders to eliminate anyone who attempts to interfere. Obviously, they won't be aware of your team's mission.
Run a bypass.
Good luck, Ripley.
Accessing computer system. Security codes. We're in. Stay frosty, people.
In the year 2077, the regional nation-state that had until then helped maintain world order on Earth collapsed, and in its wake, a planetary government emerged to rule over mankind. To resolve the disputes, riots, and struggles that periodically erupted around the globe, WSSS was formed, separate from regular government organizations. A core system for planetary control was established, not on Earth, but in space. It was referred to as the WSSS Central Control Fortress, Daedalus. After Daedalus was established, mankind lived in peace for 800 years. The global state system had been designed to unify mankind, but eventually, all those who could explain the original reason for its existence had disappeared. People's views of it now began to change. Some started to worship Daedalus. Others began to protest the notion of living under the restrictions of what they saw as an increasingly archaic system. Clashes began to occur with increasing frequency between these two groups, with Daedalus repeatedly trying to suppress them. On the surface, these were but minor conflicts. Underground terrorists from the reformist faction were arming and steadily growing in strength. Their first operation will be an attempt to destroy Daedalus itself.